Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Can everybody hear me to another episode of Clout Chasing? Let's turn that up, baby. Let's turn it up a little bit. You feel me? Let's see. All right, cool. We back. What's going on, IG? I see y'all. Hey, look, this is crazy. I got some. This is what I be talking about, man. When it comes to this real estate game and it comes to these evictions, and we've been talking about it all week long for the past few weeks. This man in Pittsburgh had a shootout with the police department. Why? Because he did not want to get his eviction. Listen, this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. We're going to talk about it tonight, y'all. Because this is what I look. Evictions is hurting people all across the country, right? And especially black women. They're getting evicted at double the rate of any other group of people in the nation. However, today I read an article that said a black man was so upset with the system, was so mad at his situation, he went and had a shootout with the sheriff's department and the police department. Listen, for 6 hours. This man had more bullets and guns than the Pittsburgh police department. My man did not want to accept his eviction. Shout out to Anton Daniels for doing a video about this subject earlier today. This is where I learned about it from. Then I did some more investigating, looking into the situation. And it's sad. Please forgive me for kind of not being myself about this subject. But this is ridiculous. The strange thing about it is that, nobody else got hurt. And it's strange that nobody else got hurt because when you listen to the news reports and you read the articles, several dozen, no, they said hundreds, no. They said several thousand rounds were fired. Several thousand rounds between this one black man in this home, which was like a townhouse, looked like, right? And the Pittsburgh police department, sheriff's department, deputies. Like, this was ridiculous. So first and foremost, I want to give my condolences to Mr. William Hardison. I think that's how you say his name, Hardson. William Hardson. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the last name right. But I definitely want to send my condolences to his family. I also, despite what some of y'all may think about me at this point, want to send positive vibes and gratitude and empathy and sympathy to each and every officer that is now suspended and under investigation for being a part of this shooting. 75 officers, 75 police members are under investigation, and they're suspended. Right now, they're suspended. Thank you for the like. Please share and subscribe if you haven't. I really, really do appreciate it. 75 police officers. Think about it. They're suspended right now, and they are under investigation. Look, listen, nobody knows as of right now which bullet or bullets were responsible for killing this tenant who didn't want to simply accept his eviction. This is so wild. And the crazy, I mean, we've been talking about this, but what have we been saying over here? Black women, they're being evicted. Black women, Kevin Samuels was right. Y'all going to the streets. But also what Kevin always said is that between men, there's always a low level of violence that could happen. That's why there's a respect factor with your coworkers, people on the streets you don't know, the bus driver, construction worker, the mailman, dog walker, the custodian. Men, no matter what color, tend to always have a level of respect. But there's always a low level of violence that could happen because men tend to get physical more often than women. It's just fact, right? This man, Mr. William, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, was simply being served an eviction notice, did not want to accept the eviction, and said, I'm going to stay here and I'm not going nowhere. Matter of fact, let me get the yada boo-boo from the closet and show y'all I'm staying. Pop, 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 pop. Could you imagine being the sheriff that simply has bro? The sheriff is coming with a letter, a piece of paper. They not coming expecting to be shot at. Most times you can go online, YouTube right now, you can look up a bunch of eviction videos. Evictions gone wild, evictions caught on camera, whatever. What happens? More times than not, there's a knock at the door. Majority of the time, the resident is home. Why? Because they already know that the eviction is coming. They are expecting it. They expecting it. They've already been told in court. They've already got the letters. They already got the pay now or quit letter. They already got the 3-day notice. They already got the 5-day notice. They already been to court or missed the court date and got the letter saying, hey, the sheriff will be here at this time on this date. Please make your arrangements accordingly. Mr. William knew the sheriff's department was coming. So he loaded up. Boy was like the Black Rambo. How you have a shootout with the police for 6 hours? Six hours of shootout with the police because you don't want to accept the eviction? This is wild. It's people who don't even want to talk to the police for 6 seconds. My man had a shootout with the whole Pittsburgh Police Academy, department, sheriff's department because he was getting evicted? Give me a break. This is what the world is coming to, right? When we're talking about evictions. And what have we been saying on this channel for the past few weeks? there is programs and help for people facing evictions, legal services that will help people to get either their time extended to stay in the property longer or to help you get payment assistance to help you catch up on your rent. This is why I'm so emotional about this. This is the only thing that we've been preaching over here the past few weeks. There's programs available, there's assistance available. Google and look up your local real estate eviction program, legislation. Go to the downtown office, something. Get legal representation. Metro areas, I believe Pittsburgh's a big place, considering a big city. I'm pretty sure they have some type of assistance program to help people who are facing evictions. My man was like, no. If you look at the video from the news run of this, you will see that one of the witnesses was like, the neighbor was like, yo, he told me that, they're gonna have it coming. He not going nowhere, basically. And the neighbor was like, what you talking about? Right? What you talking about? Then the 6 hours, do, back and forth. The police, him, the police, him, the police, him. Let me introduce myself for those of you who may not know who I am. This is Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. I am Savalas Williams, aka Big Clout. For the past several years, I have dedicated myself academically to learn more about the real estate industry. I have an associate's degree in real estate. I have a certificate of completion in real estate. I have a certificate in completion for commercial real estate. I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in real estate. I have a salesperson license for the state of California, real estate. I've also managed my own property, a couple properties that I had owned and dealt with, and I've had to evict people. One of my first live streams, we talked about it. Right? How I was guilty of evicting a Black woman and her kids. We talked about this, right? But this Black man didn't want to accept this eviction. It's so much on my mind that I think might have happened in his mental state, but I don't want to speculate too much. I will a little bit, but not too much. So please forgive my speculations on some things throughout this show tonight. Lastly, my last point about my little introduction. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I currently work in military housing. And so I'm around this real estate thing a lot, right? Here at Clout Chasing, we promote for people to get new skills, get better skills that lead to higher paying jobs. Why? So you don't end up like my man William. This is why. Right? This is why. We're going to look at some numbers and we're going to try to get some understanding a little bit. But what's done is done. We're going to read a little bit about the article. The link to the article is in the description below for my people that's on Facebook. I mean, YouTube. I be struggle streaming, y'all. I just be struggling. I be struggle streaming. Look. The link for the article is in the description below. Along with another link, you can get 50% off Tech Bootcamp Careerists if you use my link. Help you get new skills, starting pay for a sales tech engineer $70,000 to $100,000. That's starting pay. It's not including your bonuses that you may get or be entitled to and your yearly increases, right? That's just to start out 70 to 100K. You learn those skills with Careerists. It's a tech boot camp school. This is why we promote these things so hard, is because these jobs can help change people's situation. This can help keep people around and not shoot it out with the police. Can I say that on YouTube? And not have a standoff with the police, right? Because why? Most evictions are for what? Like 98% of them are because of lack of payment. Especially now, because why? The pandemic and COVID-19 messed up millions of people's livelihoods in their personal economic situations. I don't know this man's economic situation. He seemed to be an older gentleman, right? I don't know if he was on a fixed income or what, but we're going to dig into a couple of little things to help open my clout chasers' minds, right? Over here, y'all are clout chasers. We are the ROI. Renters, owners, investors. That's us. Each and every one of us. Renters, owners, investors, ROI. Right? You can put it in the description or in the chat. What are you? Are you a renter, an owner, or an investor in real estate? We know in the real estate world, ROI means return on investment. But over here, clout chasing, we designate each other as renters, owners, and investors. Some part of real estate that you touch knowingly or unknowingly. Anyway, first, let's just dig into the numbers and then we're going to read this article, right? So remember, we're talking about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let me move my stuff. All right. Just in case anyone comes in the chat, please like this. It does help out the channel a lot. All right, let me get some stuff straight right here. Get my hand movements right. This is wild. Oops. All right. Now, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, according to ZipRecruiter.com, the average salary is $59,338 a year. So $59,000 a year. It's about $29 an hour that people make average. Now, let me say this too, since we talk about these numbers. The thing about averages, and let me know if anybody who lives in Pittsburgh and do you think these numbers are pretty accurate or not. But just about averages in general, the higher people on the scale bring up the lowest people on the scale. At the same token, the lowest people on the scale bring down the higher people on the scale. And so, as I look through this chart for salary for people in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I also see that the highest bar for salary is that of people making $37,000 to $40,000 $4,000 a year. And that's tied with another bar that says $31,000 a year to $37,000 a year. So those are the two highest bars. However, the average, if you include the people who make 100,000 plus, the average number would come out to be $59,000 a year. Tell me how y'all feel about that. Do y'all think my man's William, who had a 6-hour standoff with the police, do y'all think he made $59,000 or $60,000 a year? Do y'all think he made that kind of money when he was fighting and he shot at the police because he was getting evicted? Or do you think he was only making about $37,000 a year? The man's deleted now, y'all. I don't think I said that part. Did I say that part? He's deleted? I think I did in the beginning. The investigation, the state is investigating the case. State police, they're trying to figure out which bullet or which bullets caused the deletion of Mr. William. Right? So that's the numbers, y'all. That's the numbers of the salaries, right? It's important to, money's not everything. But money can prevent you from getting evicted. Even if you a bad manager of money, if you just pay your rent first and blow everything else on whatever, even if you have no lights in your house, no water in your house, no gas, but at least you will have a roof over your head. This is why also we promote ownership, right? Because you have more options and you have a longer period of time to get out the home when things go astray. Does it make sense to y'all or am I tripping? Please let me know in the comments, right? I would love to have this discussion with y'all. All right. So we know the average pay for people living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What is the average rent? Because my man's was obviously, I believe, I have to look it up through the article again and just verify, but I believe this was for lack of payment. The reason why he was being evicted. 98% of, like I said, it's for lack of payment. Majority of evictions in America, right? And you only don't pay something if you don't have the money. If you lose your job, for multiple months, it can be sticky. The average rent in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, according to rentcafe.com, $1,531. Average size apartment, 811 square feet. That could be a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. So let me see, because normally you would have to pay what? You would have to make at least 2.5 times the rent. 2.5 times the rent. You would have to make at least 2.5 times the rent. So let's do some math right here. Let's just do $1,531. Told you we're going to do some numbers. Times 2.5. So you would have to make at least $3,827.50 to rent an average 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's how much money you would have to gross, Net, you're probably looking at about $3,100 take home, right? So that's basically half of your salary just on rent. And the experts and the gurus say that you're not supposed to spend more than 30% of your salary on your mortgage or your rent. Not no more than 30%. I think Anton Daniels said for him, and what he teaches is around 25 to 27%. But if you're only making if you only bringing home $3,100 a month, and the average rent is $1,531, that's half. That's 50%. It's like 49.99999. So what do you do with the other $1,500 for the rest of the month? Something to think about, right? If you take that number, well, that's the average rent, right? That's how much you would need to make to qualify, right? Typically, if you take that number, times it by 12, so someone making $45,930 a year. So let's just call it $46,000. $46,000 a year puts how much was it? 40. Oh, my bad. $46,000 a year will put someone in the 11% of people with jobs. Let me see. 11% of jobs will give a salary between $43,000 and $50,000 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that puts someone right at the third bar on the average salaries list that we talked about first. That puts you at the third bar. Now remember, the first two bars are virtually tied for the lowest income. They're the highest. The highest bars are the lowest incomes. The next bar, the third bar, is where someone will fall in line who could afford average rent in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is just according to rentcafe.com and ZipRecruiter. This is just me doing some rough numbers, looking at what I see. Just trying to give you guys an idea of how to look at things, how to research things, you know? If my man's was making $45,000 a year, $46,000 a year, I mean, he had enough money to cover the rent. But I don't know. Maybe his situation was different. Maybe he was on some kind of aid and the aid got cut. I mean, I don't know, right? But to have a standoff with the police for 6 hours when the sheriffs come to deliver a piece of paper is pretty ridiculous. All right. Maybe my man had something else. This is me speculating. Hold on. This is me speculating. This is me. Don't put this on nobody else. Just put it on me. This is me speculating. Put this up here. This is me speculating now. Hold on. My man's could have had some kind of mental situation going on. He could have had a ailment that nobody else knew about. Y'all probably say, "Clout, big clout, you're reaching, brother, you're reaching." Just the man didn't want to pay his rent, or he didn't have the money, so he wanted to shoot back. I mean, when you have that much ammunition and you know what you're going to do, it's premeditated, right? And you know what you're going to do when the people come knock on your door. It's only one or two ways out, right? One or two ways out at that point. It's not going to be a happy ending. All right, y'all. You know, you talking to someone who grew up with people who kept secrets that were vital to the health of people that they loved and loved them. So I don't know if my man has some kind of other illness going on, and he just said, forget it. I'm going out anyway. I'm going to go out how I want to go out. I don't know. And we don't know. Right? Or maybe he would just say he was just tired of the system. And that's what would make this more of a tragedy. If he was just like, I just don't want to be evicted. And so I'm just going to shoot it out with the sheriff's department when they get here. And that's the part that's kind of like, I really don't, I can't really rock with that. I can't rock with it. Let's get into this article a little bit from the CNN. Please let me know what y'all think about this situation. Have you heard about this? Is this your first time hearing about it? Well, we are going to talk about this article a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to read a little bit of it, and I'll let y'all read the rest for yourselves. All right, here we go. Here we go. The occupant of a home who opened fire when deputies tried to serve an eviction notice is deleted after hours-long standoff, Pittsburgh authorities said Wednesday. The subject in this incident was pronounced deleted at 5:08 Eastern Time. Public safety officials posted Wednesday on social media. 7 deputies went to evict a man from a home in Pittsburgh, Garfield neighborhood. It's always a Garfield somewhere. I know in Oakland is a Garfield. It's not the safest of places, right? In Oakland, California, Garfield. It's not the safest of places. I don't know how it is in Pittsburgh, but Garfield and Oakland, just make sure you watch yourself, right? At least when I was growing up there. Anyway, several minutes elapsed before they made contact with him. All right. The man opened fire and deputies took cover, then fired back, the sheriff said. So they knocked on the door. I guess a few minutes went by. The guy came out, started firing. That's what it sounds like. After a standoff of more 4.5 hours, suspect was deleted. We believe the suspect was neutralized during the gunfire. I mean, when else was he going to be neutralized? Right? That's what the police chief said. Pennsylvania State Police identified the deceased gunman as William Hardison, Sr. Right? During the standoff, the suspect fired at law enforcement from first and second story windows, through walls. This man was determined not to get this eviction. And he didn't care about the people next door. He didn't care about the police officers. He was like, I'm not getting evicted. It's a wild story. I'm sure as the investigation continues, we'll learn a lot more about him. The home, the family, and the potential issues are what led up to this situation. I can tell you what led up to the situation. He didn't want to, he didn't have the money to pay the rent. He didn't have the money to pay the back rent, right? After you go 18 months of living rent-free, and then all of a sudden you get a letter saying that now you owe 18 months of back rent, and you have a regular 9 to 5 making $17 an hour, how in the world are you going to pay $20,000 in back pay? It's not going to happen. Chris Wilkins, who was visiting the family in the area, told CNN affiliate that deputies banged on the suspect's door, announced themselves before trying to knock down the door by kicking it, then using a sledgehammer. That's when he heard shots. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They banged on the door. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Then they tried to knock down the door by kicking it. Then used a sledgehammer. Now things don't kind of seem right to me. If you ever seen, I've never seen no one get evicted like this. Is this a Pittsburgh thing? Normally you just knock on the door, boom, 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 sheriff's department. The resident opens the door. If they're not home, they leave they tape it to the door, the notice, and you just go about your day. If the resident is home, you hand them the notice. You let them know this is the eviction notice. You're being served. You walk away. That's it. Why is the sheriff's department trying to kick in the door? Why are they using a sledgehammer? Why are they, for what? So you're going to damage the property of the owner to give a piece of paper? If I'm the owner, I want to know why y'all kicking in my door. Y'all could have just taped the notice to the door and got up out of there. Don't break my door, cuz I got to pay for that. Unless I sue the city and have y'all pay for it, or the sheriff's department. Sound like this don't sound like a normal, this person didn't pay their rent. This sounds like something else going on. The sheriff said that 7 officers' detail was longer than normal, but we had no information whatsoever that the individual was dangerous or that there was firearms in the house. You're not going to know if somebody has firearms in the house unless you've been investigating them, or you've been spying on them, or you've been watching them, or you've been, tapping their phone, tapping their internet. You're not going to know. This is why it's so dangerous for home invaders to do what they do, because you don't know what that homeowner has in there, or that resident, or that tenant. You don't know if they got a sawed off. You don't know if they got a little, you don't know if they got a chihuahua in there. I mean, you don't know unless you've been watching them. So, of course, authorities didn't know that the man was dangerous. But I assume they kind of did. If they trying to kick in the door, use a sledgehammer to knock it down. One deputy needed stitches on his head after he was injured during the scramble for cover. I'm going to say that's what he get on that one, right? After the gunfire erupted, police evacuated nearby residents, warning others to stay away from the area. Thank you for doing your job. We don't want no tragedies. We don't want no innocent bystanders getting hit. After the gunfire, I read that. Avoid the block, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's keep going. I wasn't going to read all of this, but man, like the more I read, the more it's just like, come on now. A neighbor who was at the house across the street from the shooting told CNN she had bullet holes in her house. Now, I seen the news video. There was definitely bullet holes all over the place. This is another thing. None of these people could shoot. Listen to what I'm telling you. The report say that there were hundreds of thousands of rounds that went off. They was in the shootout for 4 to 6 hours from both sides. Nobody could hit nobody for 4 hours? Dude wasn't hitting nobody. Do. The police wasn't hitting nobody. Do. They just hit drywall and bricks. At some point, somebody got to be a little bit more strategic in their aiming. Somebody need to go around back, get a helicopter, go on a roof, do something. Turn into a Ninja Turtle, go underground. Come on, y'all. Let's keep going. Authorities banged on the door, she said. When they went in, I just heard them shout. I just heard them shoot out. And then it was a bunch of bullets. I was trying to get down to the basement, but I was held up in my work office because the bullets were too close. After that, I just was able to make it and crawl down to the basement. So she crawled into the basement trying to get up out of there. More than an hour after the standoff started, authorities said they were dealing with a barricaded situation. Of course, the man, after an hour they figured that out. He wasn't coming out. Our number one goal is to make everyone evacuate the area, especially those who may be still stuck inside houses like they were this morning. Okay. During the investigation, the sound erupted of gunfire could be heard in the background. FBI, it said, is assisting with local authorities, but deferred further comment to Pittsburgh police and staff. And that's the article from CNN. There's a bunch of other articles out there. I didn't think I was going to read the whole thing, but the more I read, the more it was like, I don't think they just went there for an eviction. Right? So please tell me what y'all think about this situation. These evictions in America are getting out of control. I read another article before. It talked about the tiny homes, and there was a fight broke out about people being evicted out of a tiny home. This is why we promote get new skills, trade school, plumber, electrician, carpenter, barber, truck driver, nanny, dog walker, something. Take those skills, take them to the marketplace, add value to somebody or to some company, or create your own business that's profitable. Let me say that. Right? Create your own business. My shirt, I'm telling you, my shirt had a little stain on it. And go from there. But this is Wild Magnolia out here, y'all. This is why I always end all of my streams and tell everybody, be safe. Have a positive night. Have a positive next day. Because stuff like this is just around the corner. These kind of incidents. We have to be vigilant. We have to watch out, right? But this is a tragedy because this could have been avoided, right? Or just, just take your L. Take your lesson, not your loss. Take your lesson. Okay, I put myself in a situation to whereas I wasn't able to pay my rent or to save up enough money to pay, the back rent. So from this point on, let me hustle a little differently. Let me save a little differently, right? Once again, this is why, we know we have the detractors and people be like, oh, buying a house is stupid. Buying whatever is stupid. But having a house, even if you get foreclosed on, could take 3 months to a year before you actually have to leave the house. versus when you're a renter and the landlord evicts you, right? It can still be a process with the courts and everything before the sheriff actually get to you. But once that happens, it's a wrap. And in some places, you can get evicted and be gone in like 2 weeks. It depends on the state and how the laws are and the rights for the landlord versus the rights for the tenant. Right? So just be mindful. And I don't tell nobody to go, buy no big giant mansion or your dream house or nothing like that. No. Get you a little 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Right? Start off real slow and work your way up. It's better than renting. That's all I'm saying. You rent for a while, save your money if you can't save it, or you find a program that helps people with down payments. You find a program that helps people with first-time home buyer loans. You find a program that helps people to help you repair the credit. Whatever you got to do that. And don't end up like my man William. Oh, man. These people want to evict me. They want to evict me because I haven't paid the rent in the last 18 months or the last 3 months or the last 2 months. And they know I don't got the money to make the back payment. I went to court. The judge talking about I got to pay. They're going to send the sheriff's department out there in 3 weeks. I need to have all my stuff out of the premises, or else the sheriffs are going to put it out on the curb. But when they come, I'm going to have that yada boo-boo ready for them. And I'm going to start, I'm going out with a bang. It's sad, man. But like I said, I don't know what his mental state was. I don't know what his physical health situation was. It's some people who be ill in their body. They don't tell their friends and their family. And they like, yo, I don't care about nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Up here, I'm already mentally. You see what I'm saying? So when something don't go my way, or I feel like, whatever, I don't care no more. Right? I don't care about nothing. But like I've been telling y'all and I've been showing y'all, it's rental assistant programs out here in areas. Look, we looked at the United Nations a list of 30 human rights. And it is very correct that housing is not a human right. However, the ability to move and live wherever you want to live is a human right. That's legit on the website, on their page. You can live and move wherever you please. OG William could have got up out of there. And he could have went to wherever he wanted to go. He could have went to Arkansas. He could have went to Nebraska. He could have went to South Dakota. He could have went to Mexico. He could have went wherever he pleased. But instead, he made this stand in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's not like he in Beverly Hills. It's not like, he in a skyscraper in New York City. He in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. From what I've never been to Pittsburgh. From what I've heard, Pittsburgh is actually a gem of a place. It's a hidden gem is what they say. I don't know. But I don't think Pittsburgh is worth dying over for an apartment or a townhouse that you're renting. And are you really renting it if you're not paying the rent? This is another conversation. Is the title still a renter if you're not paying the rent? I think at that point you're just a tenant, a squatter. This is a sad situation, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to this story. Even though it is tragic, you know, a black man did get deleted, and they're trying to investigate it now and see which officer really is responsible for it. I don't know if Black Lives Matter is going to pop out of the woodworks on this one. I don't know if this is on a top priority list, right? But we're going to get up out of here. Once again, this has been Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. Once again, there is a link for sales tech engineer, well, for tech bootcamp class school in the description below here on YouTube. You can get 50% off right now. The actual course is like $7,000, but you can get it right now for like $4,500, $3,500, something like that. And you can work out payment plans too, right? So you don't have to have all the money up front. Starting salary for a sales tech engineer is $70,000 to $100,000. And there's other classes and courses that people can do if they're interested in tech. Also, trade schools, right? Encourage people who may be slacking right now, old, young, whatever. Hey, man, you need to go look at being an electrician. Hey, man, you need to go look at being a plumber. Hey, you need to go do some construction, right? It beats trying to do the retail job, making $13 an hour, getting back, not being really able to pay your rent, getting evicted. It beats that all the time, every day. So salute to the people of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I graduated from Pittsburgh High School in California. What my homeboy say, I rep Pittsburgh without the H. Salute to D-Cep. Filipino homeboy. Anyway, thank y'all very much for rocking with me tonight. This article and this story is definitely interesting. I've never heard or seen anything like it. And to that, y'all, I can't wait to see the next. I can't wait for y'all to see the next show. This one came early because normally I do every other day, but I read this and I was like, yo, the people got to hear this. So, like we end every show, this your boy Big Clout. This has been Clout Chasing, where we mix the culture and the real estate. I hope everyone has a positive night. I don't want nobody to get in no trouble. Remember, stay positive. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt yourselves. And until y'all meet again for the next show, peace out. Have a good night. IG. Y'all wasn't really rocking with me tonight. I see my uncles on there though. Salute to Unc. And have a good night. Instagram, YouTube. Y'all already know what it is. I'll see y'all soon. This your boy Big Clout. Peace.